Alrighty, what's good, everybody? This is Generation 71 coming back to you with some more Super Mario World for the SNES. Ugh, I still got that stupid thing stuck in my throat. Ugh, it's been with me this whole freaking time. It's annoying! Anyways, last time we ended up talking about call centers, and just if you could do that, you could do anything. You are a magician. You could be a magician. You could be a pie. No. But, yeah, I have worked in the same call center, 3 different divisions, technically. Could have been 4, but definitely just wanted to get out of there while I could. And as well as, I'm trying to remember, my first ever official job, like, actually getting a paycheck, not under the table, because I've done a lot of under the table stuff. But I really don't count those as jobs, because even with them being under the table, they weren't really that serious about anything. Just like, hey, you know, as long as you get your work done, do whatever the hell you want. It's like, okay, cool, I'm good with that. So, but with the first official job I ever have, I actually got from my stepdad, and it was it was a carpenter job. So I'm trying to explain this as best as I can, because it's carpenter, but not at least kind of, because I was doing maintenance, a lot of maintenance, so I had to go outside, clean kind of like the area, as well as take out trash. But then I was also in charge of sanding boards for, you know, kind of trying to think, kind of like entertainment centers, but not. I mean, I wanted to say they're desk, but they weren't desk, but they weren't entertainment centers. It was kind of like a hybrid in between. I really don't know. Just furniture that was wood, and I had to sand a lot of the door panels for it. So, and that was my first official job, and I got that actually because that was around the time I actually had my first official girlfriend. So for our anniversary, I was going to be like, oh, you know, I want to go ahead and buy her a ring. And so obviously to buy her a ring, I needed a job. And so that's where that ended up coming from. And yeah, it's ooey, gooey, mushy, whatever you want to call it. But I really wanted to give that to her. And it went well. I mean, we did kind of break up well, not shortly after that, but we kind of did break up kind of after that. Well, obviously it was after, it wasn't before. I wouldn't give her the ring after we broke up. But you know what I mean. Just, I'm glad I gave that to her, though. Now I'd be like, yeah, I'd rather spend the money somewhere else. That's how it goes. But that was my first official job. Then the next job that I had, which I gotta say I did like quite a bit in a sense, was I guess a hybrid between a fairgrounds and kind of amusement park center place. I mean, I'm not sure how to really describe it. It was a place where the main building, they had arcade machines, so were able to play games. It had like a mini bowling alley, and I'm just gonna jump off of this mini bowling alley, and then upstairs there was trying to remember, a laser tag with more games, and outside mini golf area, some water rides in a sense for the summer. And we had a lake back there, which in the summer you can kind of go right out there and just be like, hey, you know, woohoo. Where am I going? I guess I had to get a P-switch, but I totally forgot where the P-switch was. Whoa, no, don't go that way. Don't fall downstairs. This is why everybody's ghost here. But yeah, during the summer the pond was just a pond, and then during winter we froze it over for a skating rink. And then we had a mini golf area and a go-kart area. So, and I worked a lot of the go-karts, and it was fun, especially during the summer. You get a lot of girls with, you know, above average cleavage, and when they hit gravel, you know, I'm just gonna leave it at that, because I know some girls are gonna be like, oh my god, yeah. But honestly, those are one of the perks, especially being kind of a high schooler and being in a committed relationship. Just because I can't touch this, I mean, I can't look. So now a lot of people are gonna be like, you're horrible. Yeah, maybe I am. But that was my job that I had for like a year and a half, more than a year and a half. I think a year and almost like 3/4 of a year. But it was a cool job. I mean, you do get away with a lot of things. You can do a lot of stuff in your off time. But then sometimes, that was the first time I actually understood how work worked, and how if you really wanted, like, let's say if you want to get a promotion, you really have to know your politics, because it's all about politics. You got to make sure the managers like you, or, you know, I guess not really assistant manager, that we called them leads there. You have to get them to like you if you ever wanted a promotion. If not, you weren't looked at, you know, at your work. You were looked at how well liked you were. And it was a shame, but I mean, that's how it went. But That's how most of jobs are, whether you believe it or not. It's all about politics. If you're not liked, you're not gonna either stay there for a full-time job, or you're not gonna get the promotion that you want. So not only do you have to do good jobs, because some jobs, I won't say not all jobs do this, but some jobs actually do look at the work that you do. But besides that, you also got to be liked. If they don't like you, they're not gonna hire you, because it's trying to say. And then a guy that I used to work with at a call center put it in the best way possible: is you'll get a guy who's really experienced, and you'll get a guy who's kind of new but does fairly good work. A guy who's experienced doesn't have time to actually do any sort of politics, because he's too focused on work, because he knows what to do. He tries to get all his work done as soon as possible. Whereas the new guy, he actually has a lot of time to get to know people and does some of his work, but he spends more time socializing than anything. And the boss will hire the guy who socializes more, because it's like, hey, this guy is still kind of new, but he's doing some work, and I can trust him. He seems like a good guy. I feel like because of his character, I can trust him. And so it makes sense when you put it that way, but realistically, it's really, really kind of unfair how people do take it into account in that nature. But that's how it goes. So if you guys ever... I know I have a lot of younger viewers. When you guys do consider getting a job, make sure that you're well liked. Make sure, definitely do your work, because if you don't do your work, there's a good chance you're going to get fired. But also make sure that everybody likes you, that you get along with everybody, or at least make sure the people who are important like you, if you want to get by and you actually want to be successful, because that's what counts. That's what people are looking for. But yeah, so that's why I first figured out politics, the work politics, all that jazz. And then after that, that's when I actually went to work at the call center the first time, retention for a credit card company. I can't really say what credit card company, because then people will be like, oh, can you totally give me a discount? Be like, no, I can't, sorry. Or a higher interest rate or a higher credit limit. But yeah, so credit card company. And then after that, I actually went back to school and then got a job back on campus. And with that, it was actual lab monitor position. And that essentially meant that I had time to do homework and browse, and that's actually when I actually started YouTube, because actually I had a lot of time to do that. But I would help people with technical issues, I would help people with questions, or if they needed to sign up for a website or anything like that, I could help them out with that as well. But for the most part, it was really just time to be like, hey, I want to look up a porn site, and then I gotta be like, sorry, you can't do that here at the public library. It doesn't really work that way. But that's essentially what that was all about. But then after that, I did go back to, once I couldn't have that job anymore because I wasn't in school anymore, then I did go back to that call center that I was at. The first time I did work in retention, the second time I worked in technically upgrades, so we handled high valued customers and we offered them upgrades, but at first we were kind of encouraged to make sure we convinced them to do the upgrade. Then after a while they were like, no, we want to make sure this isn't, a pitch, that we want to make sure that, hey, this is, it's like saying, and my manager used to put it like this all the time. It's like, hey, we have this envelope full of money. Do you want this envelope of money? And then if they say, no, then you just leave it like that. They don't want it. They don't need to have it. That's essentially what we were doing. So it's like, hey, we have this upgrade. Do you want it? No? Okay, fine. What do you need? And that's how it went down. And then after kind of some reformatting changed, and a lot more reformat had happened after I left. But then I was just in core services, so what essentially that meant is, let's say you did call for any reason whatsoever on your credit card, and you didn't want to go through the automated system, you would either get somebody in India or me. So that's essentially what I was doing. I could handle a lot of different things in a lot of different ways. But then after that, which I got sick of, and I honestly did get sick of it really quick, just because there's only so long you can stay in front of a computer and just look at the screen, and after a while, like at first, The first time when I played that, I understood that you needed to play politics, but I didn't play it well because I didn't like a lot of the people that I worked with. But then the second time, I was like, okay, you know, doesn't matter if I like them or not, this is what needs to happen, so I'm gonna play politics as well as I can. Well, that didn't last that long either, because you gotta understand, people who work at these call centers are people, it's like how they say, people who are barely just starting out and are looking for ways to move up, people who are in between jobs, and people who are looking out just to end their career, work a couple hours before they end up retiring. So you gotta understand, there's a lot of people, like, it was funny how we used to say, it's like, oh, either you're here at work or you're in court, you know? That's the only excuse you ever really heard, to be like, I can't make it to work, I have to go to court, and it was ridiculous, and I could get along with them, but only for so long, you know? It's just one of those things where it's like, people say the most idiotic things or act the most idiotic way. It's just like, really? And I don't try to judge people, but there's a difference between being, you know, innocent and not knowing, and then just being ignorant where you refuse to know the truth. So that's kind of how I stand on that. And it's weird because that's the only time you'll ever see me actually be like, God, I really don't like this person because of that. Because I feel like, yeah, if you're ignorant or if you just have a bad attitude, I won't accept it and I won't be a part of it. I won't like bad Matthew, be like, oh my God, you know, hey Judy or Bob, you know, this guy is like blah blah blah. No, but I just won't be a part of it. I won't like be around you because it's that negative energy that I already have enough negative energy in my own house. I don't need any more. So that's how I kind of see that. And this springboard was for something. I don't remember. See if I can take it with me. Yes, it's mine. Yeah, I missed something, but oh well. Pretty sure I did miss something. Yeah, because there's a Star Road there, isn't there? I think it was that one, or was that yellow? Here, give me a second. We'll get back to story time in a minute. Yeah, I did miss something. Okay, well, I need to finish this area first, so I just want to make sure that tube was open, I guess, and I'll go back up there later. But yeah, there's just certain the certain genre of people there that I really couldn't necessarily get along with, and that's why I needed to get out of there. And so now we're kind of at where I am now, which is GameStop, and so far, I mean, it's alright. I mean, it's kind of cool. I'm actually working under a store manager that I've known for a long time, and known, when I say known, I mean that he actually took a lot of my transactions when I went to GameStop, so it's kind of cool seeing him and, you know, knowing who he is and actually being able to work for him, even though he doesn't really remember me, and I don't blame him because he has to handle so many different people. But, you know, it's just kind of cool to be like, hey, you know, there's this guy who I kind of know. No. Is it? No. Give me a second. We have a mystery to solve, gang. Trying to remember where this mystery needs to be solved at, because I know it's not this tube over here. It's the tube right under. Son of a bitch. I forgot. For some reason, it didn't register in my head. Be like, oh, hey, there's a tube over here. Sometimes my memory goes out in this stupid game. Sometimes I say it's stupid with all the love and care in the world. Okay, there we go. So, but yeah, so I'm working on the store manager, and because I know it's politics, you know, I try to be in everybody's good side for the most part, and I think everybody likes me, at least the people who are permanent. I can't really say I'm good with the seasonals, because I am a seasonal with other seasonals, but I haven't really talked to the other seasonals or worked with the other seasonals. I can't say, hey, you know, they like me too. So it's a weird situation, but I know, hey, you know, I gotta play good guy, so I do my work, but I do socialize whenever I can and all that. And it's a good job so far. I mean, there's a lot of know-hows, and I've obviously messed up quite a bit, but a lot of people mess up on their job. It's just a little bit more annoying to do it with little things, like, especially like with trade-ins. With trade-ins, technically, like with my state, you know, Colorado law, we do need to take in fingerprints with any sort of trade-ins. So with that, then we also need to take in their IDs. And when we do that, then I sometimes forget to do IDs and give them back, and that's just ridiculous. That should never be okay, because, I mean, I've ID'd places like at, you know, that amusement park where I have to give the guy ID back, and I just can't believe I'm forgetting it. And also to the point, I actually forgot to give somebody's change back, and he caught me on it, but it's just kind of embarrassing, where it's just like, hey, you know, I can't open up the register. I have to get my manager to open up the register because I forgot something as simple as returning change. And so it just gets kind of annoying to that part, but other than that, I mean, there's actually a roof on here? That's crazy. I never knew there was a roof there. That's freaking amazing. There's a roof. I did not know there was a roof. Okay, okay. So I gotta stop getting so excited about that. But yeah, and just those little things that I messed up. I mean, for the most part, I think everybody likes me, and I think I'm doing an okay job. I mean, as okay job as I can be expected to do with knowing as much as I do. So, it's a cool job. I don't know if I'm going to keep it, because I know the manager was saying that there was going to be one permanent position, but because of how things are kind of turning out, I don't know if that permanent position is either A, still available. Oh, shit. Okay, I took out that lady just in time. Okay, thank you. These freaking dolphins up there are just so hard to predict. It's getting ridiculous. But yeah, we'll see that happens. If there's a permanent position, cool. I mean, that's awesome. But if there isn't, it kind of puts me in a bad position, because then I do need to find a job in the meantime. And I had expected to be like, oh, by that time I will be, MLG Pro. I'll be making money off of tournaments. There's no need to be focusing on anything else. But because of how plans didn't turn out the way I wanted them to, now I'm in a position to be like, well, if I don't have this job after that, I'm going to be in a really bad position to see what I need to do. Unless, I become YouTube famous. That's still a possibility. Not, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. But alright, with this bonus game, guys. Sorry, for some reason my lingo is just really off these days. And how did I get a mushroom with that? Yeah, I got 2. Yeah, 2. Wait, 3. Oh, because of diagonal. Yeah, but with this bonus game, guys, we're going to cut it there for now. Thank you for tuning in. And next time, I'll bring up a random topic. I'm not sure where I'm going to go from here. It's just story time. I hope you guys are really enjoying this. I'm actually really liking how this is turning out. But this has been Generation 71, and we'll catch you guys later.